Oh, guys, good morning. Welcome into the stream. I hope you're having a solid Tuesday thus far. I'm already jumping in right now. It's not only just regular Tuesday, guys, if you're not familiar. Hawaiian Tuesdays for Billy Boy. Every Tuesday, I'm rocking some type of Hawaiian shirt. Just hoping that summer gets here a lot faster. So, we're over here starting on prize picks, and we're just looking at the top 5 and 6 pick slips. I'm going to throw in a minimum of 2 data points. How'd it go for you yesterday? We had a massive NBA slate yesterday. Ooh, 2 data points. We're only seeing 3 picks. Let me back off that. Let's go back just to 0 then. We can take a look at some of these esports plays. But how was it for you yesterday? I got some live betting in, some pregame betting in. It was a very solid day. I think it was up over $700 in total. So, and today we only have 4 NBA games, but it is a solid slate of college basketball. So we're looking at just everything, guys, on this stream today. It's going to be very focused on data-driven. It's all data-driven. Where's the market at? What's going on? We have a ton of esports plays at the moment. So kind of the issue at times with esports is there's, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, they don't provide their odds or their pricing for, esports. So you can see that like Sleeper, Parlay Play, they're the only ones offering prices at the moment when it comes to a lot of these esports plays. Now, if you scroll down, obviously the Saquon Fantasy Scores is one that you can go after. But if you like to play esports, CS2 Go, League of Legends, Valorant, there's a lot of value at the moment right now with prize picks for 6-pick entries. If I change this, maybe you're like, yeah, dude, I don't want to play 6-pick entries. I would say the next best entry that we could go after is a 4-man power. So if you wanted to play a 4-man power, everything's derived off of OddsJam's algorithm at minus 132 odds. You could actually play a 4-man slip right now, which doesn't happen very often, but just because of the value right now with esports and what OddsJam's opinion is what these lines should be, you can. Let's go jump over to Underdog right now. Take a look. Top of the morning to you as well, X-Men. Top of the mornings. We're taking a look at Underdog at the moment. And I'll start off with 3-pick entries with no insurance to see what kind of value that we have. Appreciate you guys stopping in. It's going to be kind of like this in terms of myself streaming at 9 a.m. on the OddsJam channel, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be like this kind of moving forward, guys. In the morning, you're going to get a dose of me. And then in the afternoon or evening, maybe you get some Alex, right? So that's kind of what we're looking to kind of provide you guys is early in the morning, rise up, anyone that's on the East Coast. Or if you're just going to kind of getting started, ready for work, give you an opportunity to maybe find some sharp bets. Because I'd be doing this anyways. I mean, I just love the bet. So let's share it. Let's get some plays. 3-pick entries, no insurance on Underdog. Naturally, the 2 plays that I have the most confidence in is Eamon Thompson and Lauri Markkanen, right? Because there's a lot of sports books offering their odds or opinions right now on this play, right? We can get this at under 33.5 for his points, rebounds, and assists for Thompson. And some books like Caesars and Pinnacle have this at like minus 150 odds. And then other books have this line at 32.5, like Prize Picks or DraftKings, and they maybe have it as a flip of a coin, 50-50 shot, or slightly favored. So we're getting an extra 1 point rebound or assist here, and it's really going to make a big difference because that's just that little edge that we're really looking for. So again, all these plays, 3-pick entries, no insurance. Raphael, you can see that for him not to score a goal, Pinnacle thinks this should be minus 224, and we're getting this at minus 122 for a 3-man entry. Now, if we wanted to expand this out, I would not put this, if you have some kind of promo, if they're running a promo, guys, if I switch this to 2-man entries with no insurance, just Raphael's the only one that shows up, again, because these are minus, 136 odds. We need odds below that. So at the moment, not there. But if I expand this back to a 6-pick entry, this is the most optimal in terms of pricing for odds. We're just going to see that there's a lot of options that are available and some more NBA plays as well. What's going on, Big Bub? I've been traveling a lot for last week for work, so we'll see how. Glad that you're able to catch a stream, man, and always good to catch up with your brother. Hope you have a solid day today, and hopefully the betting's been going well for you. And I'd love to hear from you guys as we're starting to come towards the end of January. How's your month been treating you so far? You've been crushing it. Maybe it's not been going the way that you wanted it to. Let me know. I would say for myself, it's been solid. It's been a profitable month. Very happy with the results. Always could want more, but that's just life in general. But at the moment, it's been a very solid month for me. And this followed the trend. Last year in 2023, January was my best month, my second best month of the entire year. Oh my God, I said 2023. My bad. January of 2024 was my second best month of the entire year outside of September. February was one of my rare losing months last year, and so I'm hoping to buck the trend and kind of turn this upcoming February into a winning month. As we go over to better for 5-pick entries with insurance, and guys, we're going to be bouncing around all of these different DFS tools. So if you missed the prize picks, or maybe, if you see parlay play when we show the plays and there's no value, we're going to be coming back to it a few different times in the stream. So don't worry about it. Looks like a lot of books like the under on Markkanen. And again, so, Pinnacle's at -162, -136 for FanDuel. We're getting this at -121 over at better on a 5-pick entry. So basically, the idea behind this is if OddsJam's algorithm thinks that this should be basically -125, we need to be receiving odds below that number. So that's why all of these plays are recommended, and that's why down here, if I scroll, because we're getting this at -121, you wouldn't want to make me take Jalen Green right here because, well, OddsJam thinks this should be -114, spot 64. So it's all about the pricing here when we're making these slips. Now we're going to jump over to flip and parlay play, or flip and rebet. But at the moment, we're going to take a look at just parlay play. No value there. What about sleeper? Any value with sleeper? No value with sleeper at the moment. We'll take a look at DraftKings pick 6 2-pick entries. No value thus far this morning, which is a bit surprising for me. If we jump over to Dabble, and we're going to start with 5-pick entries on Dabble, there is some good value right here with Dabble. Now, remember, guys, when it comes to NBA player props, this is early in the morning, right? So, like yesterday in the Hawks game, there was no Jalen Johnson. There was no Trae Young. So, remember that injuries, some people are going to be ruled in and ruled out. And we're placing these a little bit earlier. We're not going to really find out that injury news until later this afternoon or maybe a couple hours before tip. But currently at the moment, some good Laker value plus Krejci and Thompson. If you wanted to add Saquon here, you can. Just understand that, this slip isn't going to be finalized until the Super Bowl ends, which is still just under 2 weeks away. And then we'll take a look at Owner's Box. And then also I'll look at one play for Owner's Box, but that's not going to be enough. What about Onyx? New book that was added to the ecosystem. Yeah, so there's some solid plays right here with Onyx. This is basically a FanDuel skin, as they say. Most of the odds that Onyx offers are the exact same as FanDuel. So for this collegiate player prop for Kentucky, Tennessee, over 4.5 rebounds, you can see that FanDuel and Onyx have the same odds. Now, sometimes they're a little bit different. With hockey, I've noticed this. Like with Jack Quinn, for a point tonight, it's +124 in FanDuel. It's +130 over at Onyx. So slightly different odds. But for the most part, these are the same. So for Jordan Stahl to not record a point, this is a little bit juicy, but it's very good at Pinnacle and not too shabby at Bet Online. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this up at the moment. And with Onyx, guys, they don't have an app. You have to use the desktop. You have to use the mobile browser on your phone, and that's how you're going to be able to access this. So now that I'm logged in, all right, perfect. So we're looking for Stahl to not record a point tonight. So a few reasons that I like Onyx. Number one, as I'm sharing my phone with you right now, we're looking for the Hurricanes game. And then where's the player props? Here we go. Player points. We're looking view all. Where is Jordan Stahl? Not to record a point. I'm going to go ahead and throw 150 on this. So I like this because, A, if you don't live in a state, there it is. We're in for Jordan Stahl for $150. You can see I got about $300 left in Onyx right here. If you live in a state that doesn't offer FanDuel, right? Maybe you live in a state that sports betting isn't quite legalized. Well, now you have a replica of FanDuel that you can go ahead and copy. Or maybe with certain prop bets with FanDuel, you're a bit limited. So now you can utilize Onyx and you can get some great action down. So it's just a great other option to have in case maybe you're running into certain limits or, FanDuel's not available where you are. Now you have a book called Onyx that's going to be able to provide those opportunities, whether it's arbitrage, whether it's positive EV. Let's take a look at some flip plays. Yeah, crazy. That's what we're jumping into right now. Flip at the moment. So, again, I don't have any filters set up according to minimum, maximum odds or minimum data points. But I don't need to set up 2 minimum data points. As you can see, there's a lot of books that are offering value. So here's some different plays at the moment. Again, it's a little bit early. Hard for me, though, not to like this VIT play where Pinnacle's at minus 133. Bet Online, another sharp offshore book's at minus 142. Minus 136 over at FanDuel. And I do like to utilize FanDuel as a sharp book, so I'm going to throw up Fliff at the moment. I'm going to grab this VIT play. Now, Oregon State, if you wanted to grab Oregon State plus 24.5, you can. It's very juicy. I'm not like crazy about betting Oregon State at the moment. Do they not have? So this Hawks game is supposed to be a replay. It got postponed when they got that massive snowstorm. And let me close this and open it back up. It should be, I don't know why Fliff's not having this play pulled up right here. Let's see. Can I search for it? So let me guys know if you can find this play because I'm having a very difficult time because it's a makeup game. It's just not there. Yeah, when the game that I want isn't there, yeah, of course, crazy. When the game that I want's there, I can't believe it. What's going on, Juan? Good morning. So if you guys can find these plays, I like them. I like it a lot. But because this is a makeup game and Fliff, obviously they haven't woken up this morning, the value's not there at the moment. So some of these plays are either massive underdogs or massive favorites, right? We're looking at plus 347 is what the odds maybe should be from OddsJam for St. Louis minus 2.5. If you don't want to go after that, no problem. And again, guys, right here at the minimum maximum odds, maybe you just want to stick to, I don't know, minus 200 to maybe a, plus 125, okay? Then here would be the plays we would want to go after, and naturally, two of these plays we can't find the games for. So if you want to change this up, you can. This is all within your minimum maximum odds. Everybody has different preference in terms of type of plays they want to go after, but I'll go ahead and clear this out so that you guys can see some of these other plays if you wanted a tail. We're going to hop over to Rebet now, and we'll come back over to Fliff here in a bit. We're also going to utilize the positive EV tool and the arbitrage tool. Middle tool, a lot of tools. Obviously, with my streams, guys, and where I live in Pennsylvania, if you guys don't know, I don't have access to any DFS books. I am moving to Arizona in May, so that's going to change. I'll have access to better Prize Picks and Underdog. But at the moment, the best that I can kind of share with you guys is some of the top plays from those screens. But I can utilize a lot of the regular domestic books like DraftKings, MGM, ESPN, Bet Caesars, FanDuel. So that's where I can provide a little bit different flavor when it comes to these. For Rebet, yeah. I mean, right now, the only thing is you can see Pinnacle's column right here. There's no odds set for Pinnacle. And why they're not maybe the end-all, be-all, sharpest out of all the books, they are quite sharp a lot of the times, especially when it comes to mainline market plays like spreads, totals, and moneyline plays. Let's take a look at Vivid Picks. If anyone uses Vivid Picks, 5-pick entries. These are 4 plays at the moment right now. So normally I like to have at least 5 where, if we have to play one in the red, I'm not crazy about doing that. If you have a promo, I'm good with it. Slap that on there. If you have to add one of these plays in the red, it's fine. Or we could just wait. Simply just wait till things pop up later. We'll take a look at No Vig, and we'll also take a look at Profit X. No Vig, ton of data points right here. So I love all of this. Again, it's early in the morning. So some of these players, if you know that maybe Anthony Davis is a bit dinged up, maybe he's dealing with a hamstring or a shoulder issue, if he's not going to play, this play could get voided. But kind of where my eyes automatically go to first. First, I want to make sure that there's a lot of odds being presented. There is. Check number 1. Number 2, where's Pinnacle? Where's Bet Online? Where's FanDuel's odds? And then what are the odds that we're receiving over at No Vig? So for Schroeder, over 4.5 assists, all these books are aligned. 101, 102, 100. They're all right there. We're getting this at plus 120 over at No Vig. No Vig doesn't offer a mobile website yet, so I'm going to pull this up on the app, and I'm going to make sure there's some liquidity there. Now, all of us on this stream and everyone else out there is fighting for that liquidity when it comes to this. It's basically a free-for-all, hurry up, run, run, run. And it looks like for his assist for Schroeder, I forgot he's not on the Lakers anymore. Dude has played for a couple different squads. He's on the Warriors. There's about $30. And so I'm not going to go after it. If you guys want it, it's a good play, but there's about $30.29 at the moment on this play, so I'm going to back off of it. This dude burned me last night. I bet it's over 8.5 rebounds. No good. But pretty solid to Pinnacle and Bet Online. Not terrible to FanDuel. It's not awesome to FanDuel, but it's not bad for Okonkwo for his rebounds. So let me go ahead and take a look at this play. They do have this actually pulled up here, and it's at 9.5 at plus 125 odds. Again, there's about $9 and change. I'm going to walk away from it. Seems like the liquidity. Naturally, guys, also earlier in the morning here with some of these exchanges, the liquidity is is much lower than maybe compared to game time. So for AD, I like this play. We'll see if we can grab it. It's over 12.5 rebounds. There's $70. I will grab it right now at the moment, so I'm going to be the bad guy. Hang tight. We get this matched for $70 as a max wager for over 12.5 boards against the Sixers. So we grab that one right there, but normally right now, yeah, it's a little bit lower on liquidity. We'll jump over to Profit X here and see. But for these player props, not a ton of liquidity at the moment, but I think you can find some really sharp plays here. Let's take a look at Profit X and see what we have. What? You got to be kidding me. There's one play for Profit X? All right. All right. Now, one other thing, guys, before we jump over to arbitrage and EV, we talked about like how there was a lot of esports value on Prize Picks at the beginning of the stream. The middle tool over here on the optimizer is really sick. Okay. And if you're just like teed up Prize Picks right now at the moment, what you can do is you can look to see if there's anything else. You're going to be making 2 slips with 2 different books. So what I'm scrolling here and I'm looking for is like, is there anything with maybe Underdog, Better, or Dabble where I can make a 5 or 6 pick entry here? So like right here with Jamie Grant on his points and rebounds, we could bet the under 17.5 over at Prize Picks. You bet the over 16.5 on Better. If he lands exactly on 17, you're going to win both parts of that slip, right? Both of those legs. So this is where I would say, okay, well, here's one play. I'm going to hit the under on Prize Picks, the over on Better. And then I'm just going to keep scrolling to see if there's any other value. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe Jalen Hurts on his passing attempts. I understand this game's a little further out, but maybe you could do that. Or if you wanted to make something else with a different book, this is how you could go ahead and create it. Same here with Austin Reeves. You got the over 22.5 for his points and rebounds, the under 23.5 on Better. This is where you can add this to the slip. Once you get 5 picks, bingo, you're good to go. So that's the idea behind the middle tool, and it's great with esports, but you could also use it for other sports as well. Chi-Town, Bet Online versus Bovada versus Bookmaker. What to pick? Yeah, X-Men. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, I mean, it's definitely slim. It's just to provide maybe a different option for others out there if they wanted to maybe make something that could have a chance. Now, when we actually go through the middle tool on odds jams that isn't on their optimizer, that's where we can make guaranteed cash with a chance at maybe a little bit more. So let me go over the arbitrage tool really quick. Chi-Town, for me, I don't view Bovada as that sharp of a book. I think BetOnline and Bookmaker are much sharper. And I would probably, those two first. Bovada, I don't even consider them a sharp sports book at all. I look at them as like a recreational sports book like MGM or Bet Rivers. So we're looking at the arbitrage tool right now where we can maybe place 2 bets on 2 different books, lock in some risk-free cash. Again, guys, on this stream, I utilize all of these tools every day for myself. So this is pretty the status quo. Bet365 here in Pennsylvania is a gold mine for opportunities. Same with any Canby Sportsbook. There's 3 of them that are available in PA. I know when I lived in Arizona, there was Desert Diamond, there was Ballybet, and there was Bet Rivers. So there's 3 books in Arizona as well. So just because maybe the names might be a bit different, whether it's Bet Parks and Bet Rivers, they do utilize the same third-party odds maker, which is Canby. So maybe right here for Fred VanVleet. Again, guys, we start to get below 2%. I get less interested in maybe arbing these plays. I get more interested in just placing a straight wager, right? So like San Jose first half money line. Okay, this is a very juicy play, but anytime it's an arb to Pinnacle, this is where I would look to just place a straight bet. So when I scroll down just a little bit, you could see Pinnacle has this at plus 370. This is an insane price. So why I say this is insane. A $10 bet over at DraftKings would pay you $37, where a $10 bet over at Sugar House or Bet Rivers would pay you $57.50. Okay, that's over $15 of value. So a $100 wager at DraftKings pays us out $370, where a $100 wager pays us out $575. So this is a massive difference in price, and anytime it's an ARB to Pinnacle for me, this is a green light special. So while it is a super long shot, okay, crazier things happen. I'm going to fire up Sugar House, see if I can maybe grab a little bit of value here. Now, normally, guys, how it works with sports books, okay, in terms of like, excuse me, the amount of money that they're going to let you wager. They're going to let you wager a lot of money when it comes to heavy favorites, right? Shorter odds, the minus 500s, the minus 1000s. They're not going to make you wager. You can wager a lot of money there. Why? Because if you win that bet, the sportsbook's going to pay you out a small amount. When it comes to, and I'm going to make sure I have the right game pulled up, and I do. We're looking for San Jose State. When it comes to long odds like this, most of the time the sportsbooks aren't going to let you wager a ton of money on this because they're going to have to pay out a lot. We're going to try for $100. Doubt they'll make me take this. We'll see. Yeah, so $86.98 is the max they'll take from me. That's fine. I'll just drop this to $86, and we're in. We're in for an incredible price. Okay, even though this is a long shot of a play, I'm still getting an awesome price at a Canby Sportsbook compared to any other sportsbook. And so I don't mind going after something like this because, well, sports betting is unpredictable right now. And it is early in the day, but this is just, it's just too good to be too good. I can't pass that up. Now, it depends on who you are as a sports bettor. Some people are going to go after the 1% arbitrage plays, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? It all just depends on what's worth it to you. Some people only want to go after the massive juicy arbs that's going to pay out, $15 or $25, $50 a play. Other people don't mind grinding out, $2, $3 profits and placing a bunch of bets and locking up some guaranteed money. So that's why I showcase the lower percentage plays. Also, I like to, in that example, I like to look for plays where Pinnacle's an ARB, like Bowling Green first half money line. You could see that, maybe there's some value with Canby with college basketball first half money lines with longer shot odds, right? So this is where, total games on this tennis. I've mentioned before, tennis for pregame, Pinnacle is very sharp for tennis pregame. The under 23.5 between two people that I have no idea that even played tennis before the stream started. This looks to be a very good price over at DraftKings. It's an ARB to Pinnacle. This would be solid. I'm quite limited on DraftKings, but if you want this under 23.5 as a single or straight bet is very solid. So let's go ahead and same here. If you wanted to take the under 24.5, looks like DraftKings screwed up their pricing here. That's why this is being shown, because you're getting the same under 24.5, the same price for both. So it's most likely a mistake. Let's go ahead and head over to the middle tool. Now, I just showed you over on the DFS Optimizer middle betting. A little bit different here. This is a guaranteed way to make profit with this middle tool. So if you take a look at like Kansas and UCF on the point spread tonight, this is just an over 1% ARB. So if you went ahead and wagered $386, you're going to make $4 whether Kansas wins by 80 points or if UCF wins the game. Okay, no matter what happens, you're going to make $4. But if Kansas wins exactly by 21 points, which I understand, it's a small window. If they win by 21 points, you'll get your money refunded to you on Bet365. You'll win the bet over at Canby. So this is middle betting where sometimes you either push one bet, win the other, or you can win both bets. But no matter what happens, you're going to make money irregardless. So that's something that's really cool about middle betting. So that's why I'm more open to going after plays that are under 1% because you have a chance to win both bets. Let's jump over the positive EV tool. We will be going back over the DFS Optimizer, guys, to look more at underdog prize picks, whatnot. Looks like there's a big screw up here on Sugar House with this over-under on Central Michigan. To quickly go through the filters, guys, I have all of my Pennsylvania sports books currently selected. Okay, I'm going after a max odds of plus 150. Minimum odds I keep completely blank. When it comes to the percentage, I'm going after anything that's 3% or higher. Typically in the mornings, I focus a lot on main markets, spreads, main and alternate markets. So no player props. So it means I have it selected up at the moment, but if I deselected, going after all the sports, market with maybe max of 50, And these are the plays that I'm kind of looking to go after. So maybe like a VCU minus 3.5 on the point spread, right? We could see that to Pinnacle. This is very good. It's not bad to Bookmaker, not great to Circa. But again, with the Platinum Plan at OddsJam, guys, and make sure when you reach out to the fine folks at OddsJam, ask for a 1-week free trial Platinum. You'll be just so you can get access to everything, right? Pinnacle's price just dropped off a cliff a minute ago. They went from minus 106 to minus 124, meaning that a $100 wager on Pinnacle, if you bet this over at Pinnacle, 30 minutes ago, you could put up $106 to make $100. Now you have to put up $124 to make $100. So there's a big drop in price, and you can see the FanDuel's line's just chilling here. So this is a play that I want to go after on FanDuel and take a look. Yeah, Chris, and I would say over at Cut, what I noticed with Cut is any wager that I'm placing on Cut, which is a peer-to-peer sports book like a ProfitX, no VIG, I'm always placing money line bets. Great book to utilize to place money line bets for NBA, NHL, MLB. Tons of baseball value on Cut when it comes to money line plays. So that's one thing their just odds are a little bit really off compared to some of the sharper books. So over here on my other monitor at the moment, guys, I'm just logging into FanDuel. Now, as you noticed, Onyx doesn't have any odds set up for this. New sports book that was added in the OddsJam ecosystem, STN. I'm trying to sign up with them. They're currently reviewing my account. I don't know if you have to be located in Vegas for STN, but still, I'm in on this. Minus 104 odds. OddsJam would have me wager about $380. I'll go $350 on this. Will they let me bet $350? They'll let me bet $351, so it's my lucky day. All right, so we place a bet on VCU money line, first half spread, minus 3.5 for $350. And that's just because a really sharp sports book just dropped off a cliff and FanDuel's odds haven't moved. So I like that type of price movement. And so I want to place a bet because we're getting the best price possible compared to any other sports book when it comes to this. Sorry, we just did that. I make sure I'm utilizing the bet tracker. Sometimes I forget if I put it in or not. All right, so we're looking at maybe Georgetown. There's a lot going on here. So maybe Air Force, speaking of first half spreads, maybe there's some value between Pinnacle as they see this as plus 115 odds. We're getting this at plus 148. This is a really big value. We're just going over some current FanDuel plays at the moment. Now, really, there isn't any price movement off of this play. This is just two books that have a different opinion. So I like this play. I want some exposure to it. I would say I'm a little bit nervous in terms of how much I put up on this play. Again, guys, one-click bet feature automatically pulls it up. FanDuel's a little bit different with their spreads. 135 isn't the max I'm going to be able to bet. I'm starting to feel some limits on FanDuel, but FanDuel is the best sports book. Even if you start to run into some limits, you can still get a decent amount down, and I'm very excited about getting this on Air Force. So the one-click bet feature makes life really easy. You can see with the one-click bet feature, guys, how quickly I can start to kind of bop in and out of these plays. Click refresh, and you could just start churning these bad boys out. First half total points, under 73.5 on FanDuel. Also, we talked about this tennis match. If you want some of that value, you can go grab it. I'm just very limited on DraftKings, so that's why like $5 limited. It's kind of death limits. First half under. If we pull up this price chart again, it's just a difference of opinion of where this line should be set. I also like to view the event page sometimes. Where's Bookmaker? Where's Circa at, right? So we're seeing that for this play, the main line, we're being told to bet the under 73.5 first half points, okay? In this is Toledo in Ohio. So we're looking over here in the under 73.5 first half points. We're getting a great price over here. Bookmaker sees that. Now, Bookmaker, this is the best part about Pinnacles. They actually set like alternate lines, where Bookmaker doesn't set alternate lines. They think that this should be at 73.5, but this is just a really outrageous price, right? And the funny part here is Pinnacle thinks this is a bit more bullish, right, than Bookmaker. So if we were going to work backwards to try to figure out what Bookmaker's odds would be, it might not be plus 110. It might be more like maybe plus 125. So there's still value, I think, in my mind from Bookmaker compared to FanDuel. That's why sometimes I like to take a more conservative approach when it comes to this. So we're going to look at this under 73.5. I do prefer to bet first half unders with college hoops sometimes. What's the max bet? 128. All right, that's fine. We'll take 125, make it nice, even, and round. So we're getting some college basketball value, specifically first half bets over here taking Pinnacle as the sharp book compared to FanDuel. Now, I am DVigging currently to Pinnacle at the moment. If we spring down a little bit down here, you can see that there's odds now on Onyx, right? Different plays. We talked about Onyx a lot being a FanDuel skin. You can grab them. Also, no issue at all if you wanted to grab the main line of Bet365 with Toledo. I'm cool with that. Bowling Green, Central Michigan. There's some different value here where we could grab a spread. Let me go over to Sugar House. I only have about $150 left, but let's just type in Bowling Green. I want to see what the main line is on this basketball game. The main line is at 11.5. Okay. So they're telling us if I come up here to maybe Bowling Green, or if I just type in green in general, it'll pull up all the plays. Really? Doesn't do that? You calling me a liar? Or did the plays update? Looks like the value of the change, it might have updated, so things have changed a bit. And that's okay. You can see a lot of FanDuel value at the moment. Over at Caesars, South Carolina, +8. Not very good to bookmaker. It's quite good to Pinnacle. It's not very good to Bet Online. This is one where maybe I'm not as interested in going in after this play because two of my other offshore sharp sports books that I like to utilize, like a Circa, Bookmaker, Bet Online, these are my sharp books. You can see that maybe they've moved a little bit, but not that much. Now, Pinnacle's moved quite a bit and quite a bit within the last couple of minutes. So now I'm kind of a bit more interested in this because of the price movement off of Pinnacle. Looking at South Carolina taking on Georgia tonight, South Carolina +8 points. So I want some exposure to this. I cannot not. Now I see that movement from Pinnacle. I want some of this. My email address is about to pop up right here, guys, as I log into Caesars because I don't hide. If you want to get in touch with me, reach out, ask questions. There it is. Don't be afraid to ask. There's my backup email. Don't be afraid to ask me questions at all, whether it's arbitrage, positive EV. Don't be afraid. So, South Carolina, I like this movement from Pinnacle that just happened. I'm not going to wager $400 because a lot of the other sharp books haven't really caught up with that. But I'm going to go ahead and wager $200 on this, and we'll take this. There we go. We're in for $200 over at Caesars, South Carolina +8. I want some exposure to this, but I'm also just a little, in case this moves against me down the road. So that's why we're going to do it. That's how I like to look at it. Let's go back over to take a look at the optimizer, and we'll take a look at some prize picks and underdog value. We'll also look at flip. We'll go back through the books. Tell you, bet voided by my bookie last night after the game ended. They had the line at +110, other side +104. I'm out $100. Beware of my bookie. Yeah, appreciate you letting us know that. Because sounds like they're in cahoots with Fliff, and that's what they like to kind of do. If I throw 2 minimum data points up, what happens? What happens is we get these plays instead. So 2 minimum data points, guys, for prize pick entries, 5 and 6 pick slips. Here would be some of the top plays. I'm just going to close out of some of these windows here. That's absolute BS. Absolute BS. And that's another reason why I've started to make a bit of a transition. Outside of the live streams, guys, more of my betting has started to take place live. And I actually hit some bets on my bookie live yesterday. It was a great time. It was a great time. You guys will see it in a video near you soon. It'll be on my YouTube channel. Where some of those, the time that I had last night, which was a lot of fun with my bookie live betting, you'll see some of those examples as I place bets for some content down the road. So it should be a new video coming out on my YouTube channel today. Very excited about that. But it's absolute BS, and you're only going to run into that when it comes to, at least in my opinion, pregame betting. When it's live betting, I haven't heard, and you guys can let me know in the chat, have you ever placed a live bet and then after it settles, the books like void the bet altogether? I can't say I've had that happen, but for pregame betting, it's happened to me before, and it's a greasy move to put it politely. Underdog 6-pick entries. Let me take a look at 3-pick entries with no insurance first. 3-pick entries on underdog, no insurance. These would be the top plays right here. Now, I don't have any minimum data points set up at the moment. But if you guys wanted to go after this, you can. We'll throw in some minimum data points here in just a second. I just want to make sure some people can get this. I've known Fliff's done that. Like if you place an ARB bet with Fliff, like right now, earlier in the day, they can sometimes pull some crap on you. So I'm not really a fan of that one at all. I'm new to betting, Nick says. Well, welcome in, Nick. How do you know which books are the most accurate odds? The most accurate odds, now you're going to find some different opinions from different people, but largely the books that I'm going to mention, and I've mentioned before, that you might not be familiar with, like Pinnacle, like a bookmaker, also Bet Online, and Circa. And then a bookmaker also, there's another sharp offshore sports book called Bet Chris. But Bookmaker and Bet Chris share the exact same odds, so it's tomato. The reason that I say this, Nick, is because, well, for one reason, Bet Online and Circa are typically one of the first sharp sports books that offers odds. They kind of post their odds early. But the biggest reason is because they allow for the most liquidity. Meaning that outside of anyone here or myself that's maybe just a casual sports, not a casual sports bettor that maybe bets $150, $100, $500 on a game, the reason that people rely on those sharp books is because you can wager thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars with Pinnacle, with Circa. And so outside of FanDuel, a lot of the recreational sports books like MGM or maybe a Fliff or a Bet Rivers, they're not going to let you bet, $35,000, $40,000 pregame on an NBA money line play. But you can over at Pinnacle. And so that's kind of why, because there's higher liquidity limits, that's where the professional sports bettors, the betting syndicate groups of the world, so we head over to Better right now. Ugh, not great. That's where they like to get their action down. And so that kind of helps set the tone. These recreational sports books, they're just not really accustomed. If you see anyone that can place a $25,000 wager on, let's say, the Bucks point spread tonight on DraftKings, I would argue that person is a losing sports bettor, because most sharp sports bettors with the recreational sports books, they don't let them get down their action. That's why we like Pinnacle so much and Circa. They don't care. Even if they know that you're a sharp sports bettor, they will still take your action. Now, they're tougher books to beat, but they still take sharp sports bettors' action, and so that's why we rely on them so heavy. They're also considered sometimes called the market makers compared to the rec books. And what you're going to notice is the best example that I like to give is that Pinnacle and Bookmaker, Bet Online, Circa, they're kind of like the new kids at school. They're the trendsetters. Right? They come out with the newest stuff first, and then everybody else wants to copy them. And so then, you're going to see, the next day in school, everyone's wearing now the new shoes that such and such wore, right? And so what you're going to notice is that Pinnacle kind of sets their odds, and then if they move, what you'll start to see, whether it's now or later, a lot of the other books will then start to follow that action. They're just a little late to the party. We're looking at Dabble right now at the moment. Let's take a look at Sleeper. See if there's any value at Sleeper. None at the moment. Let's go over to DraftKings Pick 6. No. All right. Let's go over to Fliff. Let's take a look at some Fliff plays. All right, Fliff. If you don't mind going after a plus 355, then St. Louis minus 2.5 is a solid play. X-Men, yeah, no problem, brother. I apologize. I'll go back over to Prize Picks and Underdog here once I do Fliff and Rebet, and I'll make sure to scroll down a little bit to show you guys some more plays. But what we're looking at here is some various different plays between these books. And where my eyes automatically go to when we're talking about point spreads, money lines, totals, I look at where Pinnacle is. So Pinnacle sees this at minus 126 on this Eastern Michigan point spread today. This is a nice little bit of a gap between them and Fliff. So I'm going to go ahead and tee this one up for Eastern Michigan. We're looking for, so I can just type it in over here, or it's Miami of Ohio. So the main spread here is at 11.5. So we're just going to go to alternate point spread. Scroll down just a wee bit, and we're taking this plus 10.5 at minus 110 odds. I'm going to go ahead and throw $150 on this play. There we go. Ooh, everything moved. That stinks. Okay. So they locked this out. As you can see, they locked this play out. Why? Because they're misaligned to the rest of the market. So we're just going to move on, and I'll refresh really quickly. That's unfortunate. That happens sometimes with Fliff, but is what it is. Ohio minus 1 on the first half point spread. Ooh, okay. Bobby Portis under on rebounds. Interesting. LeBron, we're getting this at minus 105. This is very good to FanDuel, under on his rebounds. We just grabbed AD over on his rebounds. This is good to Pinnacle. Not bad to bet online. Yeah, I'll go with LeBron on his under. I don't mind going after LeBron under on his rebounds. Anybody in here been tailing Alex? Anyone in here been betting LeBron to score 10 points or been going against it and tailing Alex and going with the under 10 points? I'm sure he's going to be after it again tonight. You can almost guarantee it. It's been fun. It's been fun. I haven't bet on this market at all for him to score 10 points, but I enjoy the interactions. We're in for LeBron under 7.5 boards for $150. So I'll go ahead and grab this right here and throw this into the bet tracker. Let's take a look at rebet, and then I'll come back over to Underdog and Prize Picks. What's going on, Bull Flag? No problem, Nick. Yeah, I mean, appreciate you stopping by the stream, man. There's a lot to obviously take in and learn. I've been doing this for over about 3.5 years now, I would say. And I started September of 2021 utilizing OddsJam. So I'm by far know-it-all. I'm learning new stuff every day. But it's just constant education, man. Constantly learning and evolving. I'm also be the first guy to tell you if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of learning involved. So just invest. I mean, you're in the right spot. If you found OddsJam, there's a lot of awesome guys here that can help you make money. Whether it's Arb Thief, Arb Father, Alex, Arbologist. There's a lot of really solid dudes here that can definitely help you out. So you're in a good spot. Let's go back over to Prize Picks. And I'll scroll down a little bit. If anyone doesn't care about, there's no minimum data points here, but I'll scroll down just a bit, guys, slowly. So if you want to tail some of these plays, you can go ahead and do so. A lot of esports value. Again, the kind of conundrum with esports is that there's not a lot of other sports books that are offering odds on these plays. And so, you just have to go after the fact that maybe it's a difference between parlay play or maybe underdog and then a discrepancy, and you want to go ahead and build this. This is for 5- and 6-man entries right here. Owner's Box 1, yeah, we'll take a look here after we take a look at after underdog for sure. Yeah, the Twitter value LeBron points, Skunky, is where it's at. I agree with you. I agree with you. So just showcasing some different value on Prize Picks, and let's go over to underdogs. This is for 5- and 6-pick entries. If I were to put in a minimum of at least 2 or 3 data points, we're not going to see this value is all going to disappear. So we'll go back over to underdog. We've been seeing this out here for a while for Raphael. A lot of value on Vit. Vit's been up for a minute. And then maybe some Austin Reeves, Jalen Green. Another reason, guys, earlier in the day that I like going after Prize Picks and underdog is you can see there's no fantasy scores set up right now, which I really like because I don't like betting on fantasy scores. And I'm very excited to get back to the desert so that I can start to play some more DFS. I miss DFS. As I mentioned, I'm going to visit my dad here in about a month down in Florida. They got it all for DFS. There is one fantasy score, but that's for the NFL. So excited about this. This is for 6-pick entries on underdog, guys. So if you want some different plays here, just slowly scrolling so you guys can maybe take some different screenshots and take a look at some solid plays here. For Owner's Box, we were there earlier at the beginning of the stream. I think there was just one play at the moment. Yeah, it's Xavier Worthy one. That's about it. Not really worth it. Worthy worth it. So I would just kind of stay away from that at the moment. Let's take a look at maybe some Profit X, and then we'll also look at Prop City for rebet. All right, so the St. Louis play a +5. It's minus 101 to Pinnacle. It's minus, this is Bovada. I don't care about Bovada's odds. This is barely EV. If you're devigging solely to Pinnacle, it's barely EV. Let me pull up Profit X. I don't mind maybe getting a sprinkle of this. Let's see. This is for college hoops. This is St. Louis. There it is. Little Control F. Makes everything a lot easier. We're looking at the 5. Okay, so at the moment, guys, there's $36 in value. I'm not going to bet that. I'm just going to leave that for you guys. And make sure it's 5 and not 5.5. Yeah, it's +5. So if you would like this, and it's not that I don't think it's not worth betting it. It's just that, when the liquidity is low, I share it with everybody. You can see that disappeared. It's now at +105, which is not nearly as good as +112 or +110. So I'm not as interested in this anymore because of the price. Too close to Pinnacle, so we're just going to move along. Let's take a look at No Vig, and then we'll look at Prop City. No Vig, we found some value earlier on. A lot of sports books offering a lot of opinions here, which I like to see. So I take a look at, all right, this is close to FanDuel, not as in. Marking in, now over on his player made threes. This is very in line with FanDuel, Profit, Pinnacle, and Bet Online. And so this has an edge for sure. Denny Advida, under 1.5 made threes. Okay. So I'm interested in marking in a bit. I'm not, and I'm maybe in Advida as well, a little bit. So let me pull this up. We'll look at marking in first. Jazz taking on the Warriors. And we're looking for marking to hit like 4 3-pointers. Yeah, this is at 126. There's about $198. I'm going to be a nice guy here. I'll take $100 and leave you guys $98 if you want. I don't know if I'm being that nice of a guy. I am taking half, Billy. But I grabbed this for $100. But if you want, there's still about $98 or so in value that if you wanted to grab, you can snag this with marking in. Over 3.5 player-made threes. So that's a lot of 3-pointers. That's a lot. But hopefully he makes them. So we're in here for this price. I like it compared to FanDuel, Pinnacle, and Bet Online. I'm not in love with this play. If I was in love with it, I would have just took all the whole $198. All right, where else are we going to look at? Oh, Prop City. All right, so for Prop City, Pinnacle doesn't have any odds set for this, but if you'd like to go off of FanDuel as a sharp book for maybe some player props, you can, though these are all Super Bowl NFL plays. Looks like, though, just in general on this Taurean Prince play, this is fantastic. I mean, just looking at some of the other recreational books, everybody has this at like minus 120, and you're getting this at plus 110. So to me, guys, there are moments with sports betting. The price is just so outrageous. It's so good. I can't say no, right? Like if I sold you this iPhone and you weren't in the market to buy a new iPhone, but I was like, yo, I'll sell this to you for $5. I just bought it yesterday. Here's the box. Here's the phone. I bought it yesterday. I'll sell it to you for $5. You'd probably be like, well, maybe not $5. Maybe like $200. You'd be like, whoa, that's like a really good value. Like I can't pass that up because I could resell this iPhone to the Verizon store for maybe an easy $500. So sometimes the price is just so good, can't pass it up. If you've enjoyed the stream, guys, I'm going to be back on my personal YouTube channel tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, going through the plays again, going through it all, and just kind of looking at everything, right? Arbitrage, middle betting, positive EV betting. This is pretty much what you can come to expect with my streams. I like to talk through the plays. I like to break things down. I just kind of brain dump, let you get inside my head. I just remember when I would watch people live stream, they would just like, this would be what I'm normally used to with other people's live streams. Okay, you're going to want to bet Avdia over 24.5 points in rebounds. And that would be the stream. They're just so quiet, and they don't talk to you about the process. They don't talk to you. They don't jump into the plays and explain the why behind it, right? And so I'm not the most profitable person in the OddsJam community, but I do make money. I'm not bad. The old Billy Boy is not too shabby. So I like to just share with you the insights, get inside my head so that you can see why. Like we mentioned before with these, DraftKings is just screwed up with this price. But I like to scroll down. I like to go after ARBs that are below 1% because if I can find a play with Pinnacle, like right here, maybe for this tennis match, this could be decent. Or this is an ARB to Pinnacle with no VIG with DeAndre Ayton. Where'd you go, DeAndre? Or this first half money line play, right? This is an ARB to Pinnacle with Ohio. I know we bet the under? Yeah, we bet the under 73.5. But this is an ARB to Pinnacle right here with Caesars. Like this looks to be a really, really good price on this first half money line. I kind of want some of this. And so that's why I set my arbitrage plays so low. Even though this is a very small ARB to Pinnacle, it's still an ARB nonetheless. Got to log in again. Ooh, fun times. So this is kind of, guys, what I try to provide is just talking through the process, talking through why I really like certain plays. Now, again, it's a little bit tougher sometimes. If you find a play like this, and you're like, okay, Billy, I found this play, but I don't know like how much to wager. You're going to want to pull up a no VIG odds calculator. All the calculators at OddsJam are free. Take Pinnacle's odds right here of 136, 163. Okay, we got to remove the VIG from the sports books to find out what the fair odds are. So 136 minus 163, right? All these sports books charge some type of VIG. They overinflate their odds so they can make money off of the bet. That's how they make a profit. So we're going to grab this fair win percentage here, and then I use the Kelly criterion method. So right here is the calculator. All these calculators are for free. Just come over here to the Kelly calculator. I'm going to put in the fair win percentage. We're receiving odds of what? Minus 135. Okay. And then I use quarter Kelly. So it's telling me that I have about a 3.38% edge on this play, devigging to Pinnacle, and I should wager $400 on this bet. I like the recommendation. It's a little steep for my blood right now. It's a little steep for me, but I'm going to go 250, and we're going to take the Ohio Bobcats. So now I have the under on this first half, and I also have Ohio first half money line. Now there is a chance that the score is tied at halftime. I just simply get my money refunded to me. It's a two-way market. No issues here, right? But this is how I like to use the arbitrage tool. Again, I just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'm like, yo, this is just 0.18. It's not crazy, but it is an arb. I want this. This is a really good play. So that's the idea behind utilizing the arbitrage tool. I use it to arbitrage bet. I also just use it to straight bet. And so that's the goal behind it. But if you were just simply looking, the best time of the day, if you're looking to arbitrage bet, is pretty much any time, but it's really like an hour before tip-off with the NBA. You're going to see this screen flooded with plays. When we're getting to an hour, 30 minutes before the early game start at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight, that's when it's a really good time to start arbitrage betting. All right, so we were using Pinnacle as a sharp book earlier in my DVIG settings. We'll go after the OddsJam recommended book weights here. And again, guys, I'm setting my minimum percentage at 3% or higher for any of these plays. Oh, let me throw in player props too. Forgot to mention, we weren't looking at player props earlier. We'll take a look at them now. For rebet users, this college basketball player under on his rebounds. This looks kind of decent. Buddy Hield as well. Just kind of taking a look at in general. Team total corners, guys, not a market that I usually wager on. So what you're going to notice when you add in the OddsJam formula and you have alternate markets set up, you're going to see like team total markets, team total cards for soccer or football, wherever you live. That's going to be the markets that pop up a lot. Not something that I wager too much myself, but I just kind of look at like, there's some value here in like Fresno State, Wyoming. Maybe this is something that I want to go after because it looks pretty decent, right? If you use Bet365, you're going to see maybe some European basketball. Not something that I wager a ton on. Let me take a look at Buddy Hield. So this is just a play where it's very outrageous to everybody else. But as I mentioned before, I typically view FanDuel as a very sharp book. But this is where the price chart, the odds graph, comes in very handy because I can see did FanDuel move in a certain direction. They did, but it was about 2 hours ago. They went from plus 190, and now they're moving down in this direction at plus 150, right? And compared to BetOnline, it's just simply a different opinion. If you click the add books, guys, this is where you can maybe add in a DraftKings. Maybe you want to add in a Bet365. You can click apply, and now you can see their line movement as well. So this is available on the Platinum plan. For player prop betting, this is an immensely helpful tool for me. Because it just shows me the reason why we like to go after like a Bet365, like they flatlined. Like they are just literally, they set their odds and they kind of just forget about it, right? DraftKings has had a little bit of movement. But in general, these are just four sports books that have the line set a little bit off. And as I mentioned, I really put a lot of respect on FanDuel's name, so I'm not as interested in it. And that's what you kind of find with me is I like to just talk through, hey, Minnesota plus 19.5. Let's look at where some of the books are set at here, right? We talked about Avdija under 1.5 threes. This looks decent. Again, if you want to put all three of these plays in a parlay, fine by me. You want to put this in a round robin, I'm cool with that. So what I normally like to do is I'll bop around and I'll utilize some other sharp books. And again, guys, this is all part of using the Platinum plan. Sometimes I like to look at player props, and I think FanDuel sharp. I'll use FanDuel as my reference. Mainline markets. I'll look at Circa. Nothing available there at the moment. What about Bookmaker? Again, some of these other offshore books that I think that are quite sharp. BetOnline has a big discrepancy when it comes to plays that are 3% or higher. They think that there's a difference here, and there's EV on Jalen Green. FanDuel's at plus 108. BetOnline's at minus 102 on this over 4.5 rebounds. ProfitX is offering us at plus 121. So I like this. Hawks and the Rockets. Let's take a look at this play. and we're looking at rebounds for Jalen Green. So the over 4.5, you can see there's $432. I'm going to grab some of this. I'm going to grab $150. And you guys can grab some yourself if you'd like for Jalen Green. Over on his rebounds, it's just a really good price. We're betting the over. There's still just under $300 available. And that's another indicator. We talk a lot about Profit X. Sometimes, there's thousands of dollars available that you can wager on certain markets. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. But here there's only like $400. So I like this, especially when I'm looking at some sharp books like FanDuel and BetOnline. We're going to grab this here for $150. I really like it. So this is how I kind of utilize the different tools. I utilize the different sharp books. I don't just go off of OddsJam's formula. It's a good formula, but I bounce around depending on what markets I'm specifically looking to attack. And so that's kind of how I like to utilize this tool. I utilize it in a variety of different ways. And as you start to grow as a sports bettor, as we're going to go back over the optimizer to finish up with some prize picks and underdog value, and you start to learn what sports books are sharp or what markets are sharp. And again, bet tracking is going to be very helpful, guys. Tracking your bets, that's where you're going to be able to look back at your old bets and see maybe what markets you're crushing it with, where you're losing your money with. Maybe you want to switch up your approach or strategy. This is through my 3.5 years. I've kind of learned certain markets. I like to use certain books as references. There isn't, especially when it comes to player props, there isn't just one book that's the end-all, be-all sharp book. It's a collective blend. And so that's kind of how I like to kind of process and look through these plays. Yeah, sorry about that for the old YouTube channel. So I'll be back on tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check it out, it's a good time. I can give away cash. Also, this is me basically. It's not a brag. I'm just very excited that coming up, I'm going to be hitting close to I'm very close to 5,000 subs. I'm going to hit it this week. And so it's going to be a 5K day where I'm going to be giving away cash on my live stream, guys. I'm going to be giving away like $50 to 5 different people on my live stream. When I hit 5,000 subs, I'll make sure to announce it. It's a big deal. I'm going to the party store. I'm buying decorations and stuff to celebrate it. So stop by. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to be hitting up sharp plays, and we're going to be going through the tools and betting. But we're also just going to be giving away some cash to celebrate the milestone. So there's the YouTube channel, guys. But that's where I'm going to call it for a day right now. Appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you have questions, email me, DM me on X. Name over on X is at right here. There's my name on X. Check me out. But otherwise, I'll be back on here tomorrow, guys, 9 a.m. Eastern. Going to start doing this 9 a.m. in the mornings, OddsJam streams over here on the channel. So really excited to be doing that. And if nothing else, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.